Hello, and welcome back to the Pop Culture Junkie podcast. I'm Shauna, joined by
Olivia.
Hi.
Hi, babies.
How are you?
You know, just another day in paradise. It actually is quite nice here right now. I went to Phoenix and I came back here.
Yeah, you did.
I feel like maybe we recorded since then, but I went to Phoenix and I got back here and it's been like 60, 70. It's been perfect. I really, really love it. On Easter, I went to this very unique San Francisco event. It is called
Oh my God, the video was amazing. I was over at Andrew's family's house and I was like, look at what Olivia's doing on Easter.
So I went to this event in Dolores Park, which is right by Mission and Castro. Castro is the gay neighborhood. And
we've been to this park, right?
Yes, you and I went. And
this is one where it was really hot.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
It's called Hunky Jesus, and it is a sexy Jesus pageant contest, and it is amazing. It's as great as it sounds. It's very San Francisco. Everybody dresses up in sacrilegious costumes
I love it.
The event. And it's a pageant for men, and they ultimately show off how sexy they are. Truly, there are some crazy costumes. People have won. There was like a Ken one. There was a man.
Ken Jesus?
Ken Jesus. It's so good. I definitely look up the Hunky Jesus winners. They are amazing. The guy last year came in on this like buffalo, this rhinestoned like buffalo. He was like Cowboy Jesus. This year, Renewable Energy Jesus won.
Yes, we love it. We love the Green New Deal Jesus.
Yeah, he had a little like windmill cross. It was great.
Oh my God. Did you dress like Mary Magdalene?
No, I went with my boyfriend's mom and stepdad and his sister, which is even funnier.
Wait, was he not there?
No, he was there. He was there as well.
You just went with him and you left your boyfriend at home.
Yeah, like, you gotta stay here. I gotta show them San Francisco. And so, yeah, ultimately, it was a family affair. It was very funny. In San Francisco, people are allowed to be fully naked, though. And so
yes.
we ran into a few fully nude individuals in this process. And yeah, it was just great. You know, just what
like
Jesus
naked Jesus? Or were they just naked? They
were just naked. They were just naked as the way Jesus made them, you know? And it was
as
really,
the good
really
Lord intended it, you know? Listen.
I will say we did not get our obligatory egg pick this year, though, because I didn't make deviled eggs. So.
Oh my gosh, we didn't.
I know. The egg lady, Egg Olivia, did not make an appearance this year, unfortunately.
I have multiple pictures in my phone, listeners, of Olivia just posing with a large amount of deviled eggs. And they always start out good, and then she starts smiling, and then they turn like strangely sexual with the eggs and just like bent over with the butt. Yeah. So
yeah, maybe we'll post them.
I should post them. I like the ones where you just look joyful. You're just like,
yeah, and you know, at the time, I think I had like 36 eggs.
You had so many eggs.
Which, like, in my mind, I was like, that's 36 deviled eggs. That is not 36 deviled eggs.
No, it's not.
That is, what's math?
Like 72?
That is 72 deviled eggs. And I was making them for 4 people. To be fair,
I made 18
demolished a lot of them.
And 36 for Easter this year. And I think they turned out pretty good, but we didn't finish them, but I just left the rest with Andrew's grandparents. So hopefully they finished them. And I put chopped up like peppers from his Nana's garden. They were a little spicy.
Yum. Yeah, I didn't make them. Did your whole house smell like farts?
I mean, usually does. It's just that's just the way it smells.
Fart storm.
It smells like cats and protein farts in this house. And the occasional Bed Bath & Beyond candle.
There you go. It's just trying its best to hold it all together.
Speaking of things that make us happy to hold ourselves together, Olivia and I had the idea to watch each other's favorite movies and do an entire episode based on each other's favorite movies. Did you like my transition? I was trying really hard there.
Yeah.
As a reach.
You did amazing.
So my favorite movie is first. We'll do a whole episode dedicated to my favorite movie. And then sometime soon we will do an episode dedicated to Olivia's favorite movie. My favorite movie, really since the day that I saw it in high school, is V for Vendetta, which has definitely been getting a little extra traction nowadays because it is strangely very, what's the word? Pertinent?
Relevant.
Yeah. Thank you. It's a little relevant right now.
Yeah.
Pertinent, relevant. So, V for Vendetta was released on March 17th, 2006 in the United States. Apparently had a limited release and a premiere in 2005. I didn't realize that. It is directed by James McTeigue. Sorry if I said that completely wrong, but we're going to go with it. It stars Hugo Weaving as V. He is the main character along with Natalie Portman as Evey Hammond. Have you ever seen this movie before I made you watch it, Olivia?
Yes, actually, I really, really love this movie. I think that when I first saw it, like, I was just like, wow, this is so unique. It is such a beautifully done movie. I think that a lot of the monologues within this movie are so memorable. I mean, the mask is absolutely iconic. It is now used actually by activist groups like Anonymous. And I mean, like, how can you not every November 5th go, remember the 5th of November?
Yes.
And so I think there are so many iconic movies, but I think when I first saw this movie, probably around 2005, 2006, I went, wow, that's such a quirky little movie that will never happen. Oh my goodness. Like, that's a distant future that I will never know. And like, wow, I'm so happy we have democracy kind of thing. And it felt very, very distant at the time. And I think that I've watched this movie throughout, like, I always revisit it probably like every 5 years. And I watch it, and it was really striking to rewatch it. Blake had never actually seen it before. So.
Oh, good. I'm glad he watched it with you.
Yeah, him and I watched it together. I was like, you know what? We're going to sit down. We're going to watch this movie. And he had never seen it, like most movies. We're getting him there. He's dating a podcaster. He's learning movies now. He's
getting there, guys. He's getting there. We'll turn him into a pop culture junkie yet.
No, literally, there's a list of all the movies that he hasn't seen purely because I'm like, you've never seen that? And we just add it to the list.
Andrew and I have been together for 16 years. And we still do that. He's never seen Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, like the original one.
The original?
Yeah.
But he's seen the Johnny Depp one?
Yeah. But he's never seen the original one. I was showing him like the tunnel scene from Willy Wonka. I don't remember. I was like, that reminds me of the tunnel scene from Willy Wonka. I don't know. And he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So
okay. Uncultured.
Men. Okay, keep going.
But so he had never seen it, and it was like really, really crazy for like me to be like, wow, like thinking about him watching it in this lens of the world that we are today. And when I watched it, like it really is just such a beautiful movie, and everyone on that movie was full send, so good. The casting, the writing, the set director, like the historical references. I mean, like, it's truly just such a good movie that references so many things in history, but is very unique as well. Like, they're their own characters. It's not like, oh, well, this is a copy paste of this person. It draws inspiration and makes it its own. So I really, really love this movie.
Yeah, I'm glad that you like it. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Like I said, my favorite movie. I watched it in 2006 when it came out. I was a junior in high school, and I went with my academic decathlon team. And I remember leaving the theater and just being like, oh my God. Like, you know, people say like, oh, that movie radicalized you, or what radicalized you? Like, I would always kind of like cared about shit, but I don't know. I feel like I left that theater and I was like, oh my God. Like, just... what stuck with me was just like the plight like gay people went through in this movie, and just like how thin, like, you know, how fragile democracy is, I guess. So for those who haven't seen the movie, it is adapted from a graphic novel called V for Vendetta, created by Alan Moore and artist David Lloyd. It was published by DC Comics / Vertigo between 1982 and 1989. Vertigo is kind of like the darker DC Comics branch. So it's not like DC Comics like Batman and Superman and Batwoman. You know, it's like they're kind of rather like under the radar indie kind of characters. Alan Moore has come out and said that he hated this movie adaptation. He did not like it at all.
Interesting.
Why? I didn't dive too much into the reasoning behind that, to be honest, because I just wanted to focus more on the movie. I guess they do change a few things from the graphic novel to the movie adaptation. But I mean, it's a 7-year long like graphic novel, it looks like. And so there's a lot of content there. Kind of squish into a movie.
I haven't read the comic books either on them, but from what I understand, and spoiler alert.
Yeah, we're going to spoil this movie in here.
Yeah, we're going to spoil this movie. So that was our quick synopsis of what the movie is. I guess let's actually go into the synopsis and then we can go into a little bit of the spoiler territory.
Exactly, yeah. So in a fascist future Britain, a young woman named Evey crosses paths with V. He is a masked, revenge-driven vigilante who plots to blow up Parliament on Guy Fawkes Night to spark a public uprising against the tyrannical government that once tortured him. And that is where we get the famous poem. Remember, remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot. I know of no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. So I guess back in, oh gosh, I should have looked up the year that Guy Fawkes tried to blow up Parliament. He didn't succeed. And that is an actual thing that happened in history.
Britain, yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So V wants to blow up Parliament. He walks around with a Guy Fawkes mask on, kind of like a cartoonish mask. Has gloves on, a hat, a wig. You never see any of his skin except for his hands very briefly when he's making eggs for Evey, and they're very burned.
Yeah, and it was in
Yeah, in 1605. Yeah, of course. Everyone knows that. Duh. So Evey gets kind of pulled into this against her will, right? She's going out for a walk one night, and in this fascist future, Big Brother is watching you. There's a curfew. Everybody is being recorded at all times. Your movements are being monitored by the government. All of the TV is government ran and sanctioned. So as she's out to go on kind of a date, but kind of with her like boss, she is apprehended by fingermen who are kind of like the ICE agents.
Gestapo.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing. What's the difference? Who are, trigger warning, threatening to rape her.
Mm-hmm. And then chaos ensues.
Yes, and V intervenes and has a very vocacious vocabulary and saves her.
Yes, and probably we're going to have to say from this point on, we will have spoilers. So if you've never seen this movie,
get out.
We love you. Go watch it. Come back. Podcasts live forever, so you can come into this.
Also, this movie came out 20 years ago, so
it came out 20 years ago. But we're kind. We're kind people. We're giving you a warning. And 3, 2, 1, spoilers.
We're kind.
So kind. So kind.
I'm a really good person.
Yeah. So whenever Evey meets V, right? Obviously it's EVV.
Yeah. So and he's like, it's meant to be. Yeah.
Yeah, it's meant to be EV and V. Yeah, even that rhymes. So there, every other word is a V word. It is quite crazy. So when I say like the writing and the monologues here are just so good, like I was struck by, like, I didn't even know there were that many V words that you could use in a row to make sense.
And it all makes
honestly,
sense.
Like,
he uses them all grammatically correct. Yeah. Like,
yeah, I was taking notes and I got a little baked halfway through the movie. So I was like, stop taking notes. But one of my few notes is I never knew there were so many V words to use in a speech. Bet that was fun to write.
Stands vivified.
Yeah. And one of the really, like, interesting things about this, right, is like from the very beginning, there are V's in every single scene of this movie, in the set design as well. And so, like, I think that you really do see just like such a love letter to this movie and the message that it's trying to send. But as Shauna was mentioning, from the second that we meet these fingermen, which are Gestapo ICE agents of what we see today, they are immediately abusing their power. And we see that by them trying to rape her. There is a curfew where no one can leave their homes at night. And ultimately, like, they are just under, like, one of the scariest moments, I think, that you could see both the macro and the micro of how this really does impact a society. And, like, you see yourself within Evey.
Yeah, and you know that these agents could get away with raping her if they succeeded in it.
Yeah.
Because the Grand Counselor, the Chancellor, is a corrupt dictator, right? He can do whatever he wants. Society cannot. And his agents would have been able to get away with this. And so you're right. Like, the day-to-day people, you aren't allowed to have music, art. They have like forbidden materials. And she goes to, when she eventually goes to V's house, it's just full of classical art and music. And later she goes to another person's house where they have the same thing. And they also have a Quran. There is a state religion. It's just very like Christo-fascism, right?
Yeah.
So having the Quran in your house is a big no-no as well.
Obviously, this movie is set in Britain. There are a lot of immigrants within Britain. There are a lot of Muslims within Britain as well. And so what I really do, and we kind of mentioned this before, is they reference quite a bit of history within this, but make it their own. And I was talking with Blake about this movie, actually, and I was like, so when you were watching this, were you thinking of Donald Trump? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. And I was like, well, the British Prime Minister is based on Hitler. And it is such an interesting juxtaposition. Like, everyone is always like, those liberals, they love to call him Hitler all the time. But it really is like, you see these moments of like, I can see America within this. When this movie was coming out, we had George Bush, we had the Iraq War, we had the conspiracies of 9/11 was an inside job. And ultimately, you almost see that referenced within the movie as well, really early in it, like talking about America's wars and America's impact on Britain actually closing its border and moving these things. And so it is quite interesting to see 20 years later.
Exactly. Like, all of the United States has been destabilized. They keep referring it to as like the country once known as the United States. There was a nuclear war between the US and the Soviet Union that led to this. And in the chaos, Britain falls and is replaced by a coalition of far-right groups, kind of backed by these big corporations. They call themselves Northfire. And, people they're afraid, right? There has been a international pandemic that broke out at St. Mary's School in the movie, and a water treatment plant that was poisoned.
Three
and a lot
rivers,
of people. Yeah, exactly. And so they keep kind of referring to those incidents throughout the movie. You find out, towards the end, and it's pretty obvious that the government itself was the one who released these things and made these attacks on their own country in order to make people fall in line and obey.
And to lose their rights.
Exactly, because they're so scared. They vote in this because it's, we will protect you. We will make Britain great again, right? And V sees through this. He survived a fire that broke out at one of the, was it at St. Mary's? part of like the experiments.
When they were engineering the biomedical weapons, they actually created it from V.
That's right.
And so what's interesting is, he is the start of this as well as the end to this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in the beginning and the end. So they were doing experiments on these counter protests. So anyone who was opposing the running prime minister at the time, they would detain and they would put them into these facilities, and a lot of them died.
All of the imagery in there is very reminiscent of like the Holocaust. They shave all of their heads. They throw them into mass graves once they die, right?
Nazi doctors.
Exactly. And doing these experiments on them. And we see that it's people who don't fit the status quo, right? So if you're homosexual, if you're practicing a different religion, if you're a protester, the right to gathering and protesting at this point has been completely demolished, right? Even the color scheme in the film is very black and white and red, which is very Nazi coded. We see the chancellor, like you said, kind of in the Nazi-esque uniform with like imagery behind him.
Speaking like him, obviously in English. But they are abusing people. Like they create this disease and then ultimately they start by spreading it to these key areas. So the first is the school, which of course, if children are sick and children are attacked, that is a real sense of everybody rallies behind that. And then ultimately they attack a water treatment plant. And from there, they strip away a lot of rights. They quarantine people. They set these embargoes. They close the borders. And ultimately, again, this movie came out in 2005, 2006. Like, it is quite a statement on the Patriot Act, which is our willingness to give up
information.
Our freedoms, our right to privacy as a result of, a terrorist attack. So it is quite nodding to that. This was also based on a comic that was written before it. So we've seen these themes many times.
Exactly.
Time.
And it ebbs and flows, I think, with how relevant it feels, right? Like you said earlier, when I watched this in 2006, I mean, I was a teenager and not as smart as I am now. Crazy. But, I left it and I felt like there's, oh my gosh, I feel radicalized. I want to change the world. But, now that it's 20 years later and I'm watching it in 2026 and as an adult who's lived through all of these things, you're like, oh shit, I see where this is going. So Evey very reluctantly gets taken to his house. Her parents were protesters. They were taken in black bags by the government. So you can tell there's something there. She wants to change the world. She wants to be a part of this fight. But she's scared, of course. Her parents were taken from her, never seen again. So when he takes her to a priest's house, she says she wants to help, dresses her up like a little kid. We skipped over a very important part. V takes over a news station and gets the message out to all of Britain that says, he grew up.
Wait, did we even talk about the first moment of it?
Yeah, he blew up the Bailey, right? So Evie's there. Oh my God. Evie's there. He blows up the Bailey, which is how she gets wrapped into all of this. Everyone thinks she's involved, but she's like, bro, I was just going for a walk. This dude saved me and asked if I liked music, and now here I am. Everyone thinks she's a terrorist. He takes over the news station, puts out a message that says, 1 year from tonight, I will blow up Parliament. And it's kind of like a rallying cry. If you feel as I feel, if you see what I see, join me, right? And we can blow this shit up together. And from then it's like, oh God, we got to catch this guy and Evey, who everyone thinks is involved. Okay, there we go.
And it's like the initial scene and the ending scene kind of echo each other as well. Again, Shauna mentioned it, but music is almost banned, right? So people don't have access to music, and we have the 1812 overture by Wachowskis. Yeah. And we really, really hear this kind of like rally cry. They quickly cover it up and say this was a planned demolition that happened. And then V goes to the news station and releases a video and says, a year from now, if you think that this government is corrupt, show up at the parliament and we will overthrow our evil overlords, right?
I know the spin is so interesting. It's like the take on fake news, right? And we're all very familiar with how certain stations, this is government run TV, right? So they cannot tell the truth. Even the newscasters know that the stories they're reporting on are bullshit, but obviously you have to fall in line or you will die.
They've government approved scripts.
Exactly.
Before.
Do as I say or you will die. We can disappear you, right? So V intercepts and is like, haha, it wasn't a planned demolition. I did it. Join me. And Evey gets involved, but tries to escape, right? And, oh gosh, I want to take a break before we talk about the big scene with her interrogation. So, hold on, everybody. We're going to take a quick break and get even deeper into this right after this. So, speaking of dystopian nightmares, how about this academy? Oh God, we know it's rough out there, and that's why even as we invite all of you to check out our Patreon, we are not asking for much each month, because even a small amount can make a big difference. And of course, we have something special for anybody who joins. Find out how easy it is to get uncut, early access to each episode, or a super special shout out, just like our brand new subscribers. Thank you so much, Jessica and Janice, for joining our Patreon. Yay!
Woo! We love you. We mean it.
You guys are getting uncut access. I hope you like it. Most of the uncut access is just Olivia and I talking shit, drinking, and talking about how depressed we are off camera.
It's riveting stuff.
It's great. Burping. It's great.
It's also burping. Again, we said we have a lot of gas. We're working on it.
Burping. Yeah, we do belch. We get all of our soda belches out. Okay.
Yeah.
So go to patreon.com/popculturejunkiepodcast and subscribe. Thank you. Love you. So now back to V for Vendetta. Okay. We will wrap up our little plot points here. Evey tries to escape from V because she's scared. I understand. It's okay, girl. You're scared. You won't be soon. So she escapes to her boss's house, who is the guy she was supposed to meet in the date early in the movie. Finds out quickly that he's like, hey, I'm expected to wine and dine beautiful women like you. I'm gay, and I have all this art in my house. So
he's a very
safe,
he's a V for Vendetta. Like, he's a V character, but he's not. He's hiding behind a mask that isn't like a physical mask, right? Like, he's hiding his sexuality.
That was really deep. Shit, that was good.
He's hiding his
Did you think of that while you were baked, while you were watching the movie?
No, I just off the cuff said that.
Damn.
But he really is a similar character, but instead of a physical mask, he's hiding behind like a societal one. He is unfortunately quite of a big piece in how this fascist government is able to control people, right?
Yes.
He has a talk show. He's really like a Graham Norton character, which is actually like a very popular British talk show with in our world.
Yes. I was trying to think, like, who does he remind me of? And it's definitely Graham Norton. And he has this talk show, right? And most of the time he falls in line. He decides to do a little script. Yes, he goes a little off script and has a kind of an SNL moment, right? Where he satirizes the Grand Chancellor. I don't know why I keep saying Counselor. Yeah. And makes fun of him. And, once upon a time in Britain, that was allowed, just like it is right now in the United States. We see Trump being made fun of on SNL all the time. Mm-hmm. It is not allowed in this country in V for Vendetta's time.
What's interesting about this is he goes into this thinking like, well, what are they going to do to me? They can't touch me. I am untouchable. I am like, such a mouthpiece for them right now. I'll get a fine. I'll get a slap on the wrist. And ultimately, he does not. He gets taken away by...
He is disappeared.
He is disappeared. Yes. And it really parallels Evey's childhood where she watched her parents get taken. She is hiding under the bed and she escapes out the window and is taken by the powers that be.
What she thinks is a fingerman.
Yes.
Yeah, she thinks
she's taken by the fingerman. And she's put into like a very similar camp that these biomedical weapons were created in.
Yes, it's a very similar camp and situation to what V went through when he was being experimented on. We mentioned that V escaped. There was a fire. There was an explosion. He was the only test subject that survived, which is why he doesn't show his skin and why he looks so burned when she saw his hands. Yeah. He puts Evey through the ringer, trying to break her and really getting to
get her
move
to
her past
give him
fear.
Up.
Exactly. So he puts these little notes in her cell. First, he shaves her head. Natalie Portman actually had her head shaved for this role. And it's incredible.
I remember that was so crazy.
Oh my God, so good. And, she doesn't know that this is being staged. She thinks that she's actually being tortured, being questioned, being held. A guard keeps coming in and saying, tell us the whereabouts of Codename V. Tell us anything and we'll set you free if you just tell us anything you know about him. She won't say anything. And she keeps reading this letter that she finds, right? Written by this lesbian woman who is being held in this cell. Oh my God, just beautiful,
it's such a
heartbreaking
beautiful
letter.
Yeah.
Oh my God, of just her meeting her wife and falling in love and coming out and then getting sent away for it.
It's a real Anne Frank moment.
Yeah.
The story of someone who is, happy and then taken. And again, there's so many callbacks and parallels to those things.
It's a little movie within a movie. We get to see this woman as a child realizing that she's, likes girls and then meeting her wife and then them having time together. Did you catch it that she said that her wife and her grew roses in the window?
Yes.
And that's the same rose that V leaves in all of his victims. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And
so
ultimately, Natalie Portman, Evey, refuses to give up V, even though she is going to be killed and shot behind the chemical sheds.
This letter, this really is what sets her of being like, you know what, fuck this system, this society. Like, she got to really read the impact of an actual human of what this is doing, right? Like, it's easy to, when you're a citizen, fall in line or you don't know what to do, which is, I feel like, what a lot of us feel right now, right? Like, it's hard. Like, what do I do? What can I do that changes things? Mm-hmm. And, when she really read the letter from this woman who is like, I'm going to die here and this is my last words. She's like, all right, that's what really flips the switch in her head. So when the guard comes and says, well, you have no fear anymore, because she's like, yeah, thanks, I'd rather die. He takes her out. And we realize, oh, it was V the whole time trying to say, he's like, you told me you didn't want to feel any fear anymore, like your parents. You don't anymore. At first, she's pissed because she's like, you shaved my head, bro. I had gorgeous hair.
Mm-hmm. I think it was more the torture.
No, she's like, but I spent years growing this.
Yeah. I mean, it was like a second point, but
it was the torture.
No, I think that this, it really is an argument, and you become what you're fighting, and you to have that happen to you. Like, I think it is really an interesting argument of, hurt people, right?
Yeah.
We hear that all the time. And V ultimately becomes what was done to him and what catapulted him into this moment, right? And
people say, he's a monster. And, she says to him, you're evil. Yeah. And V is a very complex character, right? You're rooting for him the entire time. But, obviously, he's making morally ambiguous decisions, right? Or like decisions that we say are bad or evil. Like he's murdering people. He's breaking into people's houses and killing them. Mm-hmm. Do the ends justify the means? Like,
yes, it's a real argument in that.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, he keeps saying you can't kill an idea, right? And governments should be afraid of their people. People shouldn't be afraid of their governments. So I think even he's all along like, I will be this symbol. I will take on these sins. I will do these evil things so that other people can live a life outside of tyranny, right? He's like willing to become the monster if it means that society can change. Because he's like, look at what they already fucking did to me, right? He's like, I'm going full in. I'm committing myself to this even if it kills me.
Yeah, I think there's a really beautiful quote, like, where he said, what was done to me was monstrous, so I became a monster.
Yeah,
and, you know, it really is like such a thought-provoking movie in that where, you know, it is, like you said, does the end justify the means? Mm-hmm. And ultimately, like, from this moment on, we you know, go through various scenes, but at the end, it becomes the night. So it becomes November 4th, almost November 5th.
One of my favorite parts of this movie, he has mailed out thousands of Guy Fawkes masks to everybody, right? So that everybody is part of the movement. Everybody is a symbol. Like, you can't, who is who? You know, at a certain point, it's collective power. I also love that throughout the movie, we see a little girl watching the news and watching V, right? And kind of you see her slowly get radicalized.
Yep.
And at a certain point, you see her.
She gets killed. Yeah.
Yep. She's wearing the mask and spray painting. Yeah. And somebody shoots her, which has that uprising. Everyone sees her be murdered in the streets by ICE.
Well,
I mean, I'm sorry. The fingermen.
In the beginning, they do that to the school, right?
Yep.
And so nothing gets people more angry than harming a child, right? So we see these like echoes of what they manufactured, and what V is doing.
The power that the people are taking back.
Yes, yeah. Yep. But it is him echoing what they did in so many ways, in so many actions. But it really is like quite thought-provoking. Those moments, the murder of a child really sends people into less fear, right? If they're murdering children on the streets, if they're murdering civilians for simply being there, again, call back to where we are today.
Exactly.
And protesting and having a freedom of speech.
People are taking back protesting again. And, you know, a lot of them are getting arrested, being murdered, being disappeared, but the numbers keep growing, right? And especially everybody has these masks where they're anonymous, right? It looks the same.
And we see the powers that be really like, okay, we need to start manufacturing the news. Disease is back. Like, things are coming. Like, America's in shambles. Like, and it's nobody believes it anymore.
Exactly. I loved that point too, where they were like, "Get this back under control," and then we see the news like, "You guys need us. See, look at all this bad shit that's happening.
And nobody
you need us," and everyone's like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, and ultimately that leads us to the night of November 4th, leading into November 5th, a year later. And they are coming back. Evey comes back to V. She is left after he's tortured her, and she comes back to V. And they have this like really kind of will they, won't they love story moment throughout it, which is quite beautiful.
I love that it's like a little just hint of romance under the movie, right? It's not overtly sexual tension romance. It's this like respect that they feel for each other throughout the whole movie. And listen, don't torture a woman. Don't kidnap and torture a woman to radicalize her.
Yeah.
But listen, it within the movie, it works, right? And she absolutely is full in now, right? She is walking around without fear. She's got her shaved head. Her old coworkers don't recognize her. She goes back to V and is like, "Tonight's your big night," and she is in it. It is
well, sort
job.
of. So I think it's kind of interesting. So basically at this moment, right, he's planned everything. Everything is in place to blow up Parliament. He's taken over like an old subway station that they actually shut down. It's within the quarantine zone. And he tells her that it's up to the next generation to fix this. My generation is what is wrong and has ultimately set the stage, right? But it is your decision if you want to do this, right? I have everything. I have the explosives.
Yep. If you want to pull the lever on this train and send it to Parliament, do it.
Yes.
Right?
If you don't, no problem.
Totally up to her, which is just so like, you know, he already knew he was going to die. He told her, nope, this is where, you know, I'm ending here. I'm done. She tries to convince him not to basically throw away his life. But he's like, I'm a symbol. Like now it's up to, like you said, the next generation to carry this on. Once we get through tonight and Parliament is blown up, you know, she asks him in the beginning, you really think blowing up a building is going to change everything? And he's like, this is a symbol. This is an uprising.
Yep.
They kill the Chancellor.
They kill the Chancellor. They ultimately kill V.
Yes, they do. V does die.
He like comes back to her. He spends his dying moment with her.
She kisses the mask.
It's so cute. As all of this is happening, we see all of the citizens of Britain coming out of their houses with these Guy Fawkes maxes.
Yes.
Masks.
And Foxes, maxes.
Foxes, maxes. Yeah, with these Guy Fawkes masks. And they are marching in the street. We see also really kind of what we saw in DC in America happening, where the U.S. military, the British military at this time, is all set up to stop these counter protests. They are,
but they're getting no orders.
They're lining Parliament
because everyone's dead.
Yeah, because everyone is dead. Ultimately, like V has stopped this. They don't receive any orders to shoot, to stop, to subdue.
So they just have to let the protesters on through.
Yeah. Well, the military ultimately makes a choice, right? Like, I think if one person had fired, like, it would have set off a chain of events.
That's true. I didn't think about that. You know, they're standing perfectly still because they don't have orders. But I think, you know, they made that choice. They see the mob of people walking towards them, all wearing the exact same mask. And at that point, you're like, well, God, I don't know who's who. I don't know who's a child. I don't know, like...
Yeah. Exactly.
So we're not getting any orders, and they're so used to following orders at this point that they're like, can they even function without being told what to do?
Yeah.
Spoiler,
ultimately,
Parliament blows up.
As V dies in Evey's arms, she puts him onto the train that has all the explosives and pulls the lever, right?
I also love that the cop who's been trying to like catch them the whole time, we slowly see him realizing throughout the movie that the government is corrupt. The government's the one who planned all of the attacks and all of the diseases in order to gain control. And he has the opportunity to shoot Evey, and he doesn't. He's like, you know what? Yeah.
To stop it all. Yeah.
Yep. And he doesn't. He lets her do it because he realizes, you know what? This is our government's, you know, there needs to be a change, essentially.
Yeah. And I think this movie is just so beautiful. Like, we've talked about a lot of the different themes within it. But yeah, I mean, you look at power and tyranny, like the individual versus the state. And I think that there's so many good moments within this movie that we can call back to the past, the present, and hopefully not our future, but
100%. Just, you know, complicity versus complacency, right? The film is critical not just on the regime, but also people who let it happen and just sit by, right? So Evey represents ordinary citizens who stay quiet out of fear and then eventually break out of that passivity, right? And it's normal to be afraid and not know what to do in the face of people who might kill you, right? But it's just the collective power that we all have when we join forces. We can really make these changes. It's up to us to save us at the end of the day, right? Because the powers that be aren't going to do it. They're the ones who are, you know, doing all of this. They're the ones who are manufacturing all of the disasters and making us all scared and complacent and falling back on, oh, okay, God, I don't want to die. But at the end of the day, no one's going to save us.
I think this movie is so beautiful because, like, ultimately it's the statement of, like, ideas are the ultimate weapon, and it's what the film is trying to say here. Governments can kill people, but they can't kill an idea, and symbols mean a lot, right?
Yep.
And so it's really asking, like, what is our moral obligation to each other? And I think that's quite beautiful. And yeah, I mean, I think we've talked quite a bit about the movie itself and the symbols within it, but do you want to talk a little bit about what we might get for this for Vendetta World?
So it looks like as of now that a TV show is in development at HBO. It will be produced by DC Studios, James Gunn, and Peter Safran. The project is a new adaptation of the Alan Moore graphic novel with writer Pete Jackson, not Peter Jackson, attached to the series. So it is set in the dystopian future Britain. You know, maybe it'll be more accurate or closer to Alan Moore's original piece because it is a series.
Yeah.
They have more time.
I really hope they show the initial days and how it fell. Like how the Britain we know today fell.
Exactly. I loved that about when I stopped watching Handmaid's Tale because it just felt too close to home.
Yeah.
But when I first watched it, I really liked how it showed the initial downfall of the United States and that, like, what is it? Like a lobster boiling in water doesn't know that it's dying until it's too late, right? So they just kind of slowly keep turning the heat up. And, you know, one day the government falls and then, okay, we're in fascism.
Never here. So, yeah, such a beautiful movie.
Yes. So I hope that the HBO series happens and I hope that it's really good. You know, James Gunn is great. He can do serious work and more goofy work. So I hope they lean into the serious here. And overall, you know, I recommend this movie to anybody. It's anti-fascist as fuck, right? It is a warning against authoritarianism and the creeping fascism that kind of resonates strongly today. And, you know, what once, like you mentioned, Olivia, felt like a dystopian scenario that'll never happen is stuff that's kind of we see creeping slowly in. So this is my favorite movie of all time. Anytime anyone asks me what my favorite movie is, it is V for Vendetta and has been for the last 20 years. So I think that is going to wrap us up. I really think, even though we said the entire plot here, if you haven't seen it, please watch it. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And if you haven't watched it in a while, like we haven't, you know, I haven't watched it in years, even though it's my favorite, just because it is so relevant.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, I don't know if I can do it, but
spooky.
Rewatch it. So, Olivia, where can the listeners find you online?
You can find me on Instagram at Livy Maries, Livimareiez.
You can find me, Shauna Trinidad, on Instagram and Threads at Shauna Trinidad, ShaunaTrinidad. Look us up online at our website, popculture-junkie.com. That's where you can find our podcast on all platforms, our social media links, blog posts, and you can shop the Pop Culture Junkie store. You can contact us and join our Pop Culture Junkie online support group on Facebook. All that and more on our website. Please take a second to follow, subscribe, rate, and review the show. All of that truly helps us out. And of course, as we mentioned earlier, please accept our invitation to join our Patreon. You can join for as little as $1 a month. Please take the lead of our new members, Jessica and Janice. Thank you both so much. You truly mean the world to us. Every subscription helps us bring you more great episodes like this one, and Jessica and Janice get to see behind the scenes, so you're going to want to join them on that. Find us at patreon.com/popculturejunkiepodcast. Sign up for an uncensored sneak peek at our next episode, or get a personalized shout out from Olivia and me. And come back next time for another hit of pop culture.
The Pop Culture Junkie podcast is produced by Jeff Markin and Cheryl Lightfoot for the Pop Culture Entertainment Network.
So entertain me right now. I need it back.